Are you ready?
Here we go.
So, you know what that means.
The After Sesh is official.
Kicking off the After Sesh live. How's the boys?
How's the boys and the girls? Don't forget the girls.
Oh, I can't forget about the girls. Never forget about the girls.
It's not a lads' night.
No, that's a sausage fest, bro.
Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of the After Sesh Podcast with me, Aaron.
And me, Adam. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, the person that's listening to this in the car on the way to work.
That
you
only
hate.
one person. There's only one listener.
Yeah, my mum.
Yeah.
Hi mum, I
She's
love
only
you.
here.
Hi mum.
She's only here to listen to me.
That's true. So this has been a long time in the making, and we have officially started recording. We started talking about podcasts last year, and then there's just an idea that we had, and we are throwing ideas around like what should we do, what should we call it, all this jazz, and then
We went through a few different phases. There was a few different things going on with it, a few different hurdles that had to be crossed, and everyone knows over the last year it's been hard enough to organise going on a holiday, never mind to organise a new business venture, so be patient, but we should be pumping out a lot of content over the next few weeks, so hopefully you'll all enjoy it.
and we have some amazing guests lined up that I'm actually buzzing about, and I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised that we got on.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted as well for a little Kickstarter, but sure, look, onwards and upwards from here.
Everyone has to start somewhere. That's why we don't mention that we're only newbies to these people.
Yeah, exactly, we might have to cut that out.
We're not newbies, by the way.
Yeah, no, we have one done. We previously recorded one together. It actually went quite well. We were doing it over Skype, so it's the first time we've actually done a physical podcast in the same room as each other. And to be honest, how are you feeling in comparison to the last one that we did?
A lot better because I can actually see it in person. I can actually see your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you very
That's how
much.
can the people on YouTube.
Thank
Shout
you.
out,
It's-
little plug there.
It's obscured by a few facial, like, pubes, more so than facial hair, you know what I mean? But sure, look, thank you.
I'd say a lot better myself as well, because that last one was really only like dipping my toe in the water, testing out the water, see what the podcasting thing was like, and didn't know what I was doing. Just winged it, felt a bit nervous, but now I feel more relaxed, and I didn't just jump into it. Like, we've been planning this since August time, so
Yeah,
about
start of
4
August,
weeks.
probably just before I went away.
Yeah, so a lot of work has gone into this behind the scenes, mainly on my end.
Exactly.
And
I'm the face of the operation, Aaron's the brains.
literally, so hopefully no one watched on YouTube.
Yeah. Two faces for radio, am I right?
Pretty much, yeah. But I'm actually buzzing about this, and like last year it was tough for everyone, so everyone's feeling a bit down, wasn't really in the mood. I just done it to keep myself busy. I didn't like put a lot of effort into it, to be honest. And now I'm ready to go full steam ahead, all guns blazing, knock down any content in front of me to try to get in my way.
Yeah,
Any
that's-
trolls, I'll find you. No, I won't. Never mind.
Any trolls, I'll probably reply back to you.
Yeah, probably will.
Probably will.
Probably buy a pizza.
Comment sections do be gas. You know what? The best comment of the week probably will get a pizza at some stage.
Can I comment?
What?
Can I comment?
There you go. You can buy your own pizza.
Beats don't agree with me, actually.
I wouldn't be telling the internet that.
It's mad. Like, I can eat pizza from my Tesco or that, but if I try to buy a Domino's pizza,
You're dead.
dead.
Dead. Same as me, man. I feel sick after eating a chipper. Man, I can't eat a chipper anymore. I used to love eating chippers. I couldn't touch one now.
I suppose that's a good thing. Like, we're both trying to lose weight.
Yeah, true. That's it. Go on a good session for the weekend. A bit of it'll fall off you anyway. That seems to be the best approach I've had. But you seem to put it back on after a few days. So maybe a week-long session, perhaps. Like, I have to say, when I came back there, I'm only back from an 11-day holiday in Spain and in the Canary Islands, and I swear to God, I'd say half of me came back. You know what I
Two and a
mean?
half still
The
drinking.
other half is still there, and the other half got robbed in the strip club on the beach. You know what I mean? So that's just a lesson to be learned. Don't go swimming at night, and if you do,
Wear shorts.
yeah, wear shorts.
It gets cold.
Well, that no, someone will rob your shoes, bro. Someone will rob your runners.
Where'd you go, Lanzarote?
We went to Lanzarote, yeah, lovely spot, absolute paradise of a spot. But sure, look, it's the sort of thing. It's a lad's holiday. It's only gonna get messy. Do you know what I mean? So, what can you say?
From what you can remember, was it good?
Yeah, from what I can remember, it was absolutely fantastic. I had a great time. Just to come here, weather-wise, it was absolutely amazing, and it was really just nice to get out of Dublin. That was the main thing for me, get out of Dublin. I was in England the week beforehand as well, so it's nice to be able to get back to normality and to see other places that are a lot more open than where we are. They're a lot further along than where we are.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's a lot more normal in those places now. Bear in mind, people are still wearing their masks, but like people, like it seems a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more of a vibe, and it's, as I said, it's a lot more back to the old normal. Like,
Yeah, I don't plan on going out the country anytime soon.
No?
No. I went outside Dublin for a wedding. That's as far as I went.
Yeah, fair. I'm still planning my next holiday. I've one that I'm going to go back over to England in November. Shout out to the lads that are floating over with us. Hopefully they're listening. I know one of them definitely isn't. But
wanker.
Yeah, and I'll be going back over to England in November. Then another trip to Spain planned for December as well. They're just kind of while I can, in case they shut everything back down. At least they shut it down. Hopefully I'll be out of the country.
I don't think they will shut down.
No, it cost them too much money.
90% of people are vaccinated, so we're grand.
Yeah.
Fuck them. And once you get it, you can get a passport or something. So,
well, I've the COVID digital cert, and I wouldn't mind it. It's an absolute lifesaver when you do have it, because when I went to England, I had to get a PCR test coming back. Now I'd been vaccinated on the 12th of August, but it was I was coming home on the Tuesday, and my vaccine didn't kick in until the Thursday. So I think I spent £120 just to get a.
So if you would have waited a few more days, you wouldn't have to get it.
Yeah, if I had came home 2 days later, I would have been fine. But because I came home 2 days earlier, wow, voice crack. 2 days earlier than where I was when it kicked in, I had to pay €120, and then it's about finding a testing centre as well. It has to be PCR if you're coming back to Ireland, because they don't accept antigen tests. So it's something to look out for. But coming home after being vaccinated and everything from Spain, it just made the process so much easier.
I've heard people that have gone away and they haven't even they don't check the certs.
I wasn't checked coming back from England, which is now I wouldn't mind. That really annoyed me, because I actually had to go out of my way. I had to leave the town I was in, and I was about 45 minutes away in a car. I had to go out to Exeter Airport. I was down the very south of England, down in Torquay, so I had to go to Exeter Airport. It doesn't seem that bad, but I had to get a taxi. It cost me £50 taxi there. Then I had to get a taxi and a bus back then as well, so that was another 70. Like all in pound, like, do you know what I mean? So it all adds up. Where
so you're talking about £300 just for a test.
Yeah, about 220 in pounds. So you're looking at probably about €250 just to get tested. Tell you, something you already know I don't have on. Like, do you know what I mean? I wasn't going around coughing or anything like that. Well, it's the precaution. So it made it a lot easier coming back from Lanzarote, knowing right, I have a little code in my pocket here on my phone, so I can just scan that and happy days. I'm on a plane then. But I did get checked coming through the airport, coming back from Lanzarote now. In fairness.
Wasn't the body search, was it?
No, not full body, unfortunately. They left the rubber glove in, you know.
The last time. I've actually been to Lanzarote 5 times in total. That's actually a really nice spot.
That's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
I haven't been since I was about 10 or 12. Like, I used to always go when I was really young with my dad, and I remember the last time we went along the strip. Maybe Dad sat in a bar, and next of all, we went around Christmas time. No, it was about Christmas time and birthday, because my birthday is in January, right after Christmas. So it was about that time. Went to this like bar. We were the only 2 people in it. Turned around. Next of all, it was like a stormy weather, lashing rain. Wind was fucking like about 200 kilometers an hour. Stuff flying everywhere. And maybe I just sat at the bar, just talking to the barman, and it was like kind of outside. It had like a little canopy, like a roof sort of thing. So we're basically outside. I was sitting there at the bar like 2 o'clock in the bleeding storm, and we seen a pool right beside us that was bleeding overflowing. And the man behind the bar, we were chatting with him, bang on. I could have been Irish, I don't know. Yeah. And he gave me a little laser pointer, not the fucking airplane one, like a little kids one. And I had a little saying on it. It goes, "From now on until you die, that's gonna be your saying." And it was "Let's have it." I'm like, really? Yeah. That's saying. That's
like everyone. Remember Delia Smith, the night she was on Norwich, came out onto the pitch drunk at half time. "Let's be having you."
I've seen loads of memes going around Pep Guardiola doing that, because he called out the City fans. Yeah. He photoshopped his face onto that, and it's like, "Where are you?
Where are you?"
We need a good slogan. We need a good slogan for this, actually.
Yeah, send us in your slogans if anyone can think of any.
There's a link in the description of this podcast or on YouTube. It's a link to all of our social medias. It's a link to literally everything that we have. And a little cheeky plug, you can also buy us a drink to help the After Sesh go further.
Well, that's it, exactly. If you want to help us stock the After Sesh to make sure it's as good a time as possible, why not send us a few quid if you would
it's
be so
cheaper than the
fine.
point. What's the point now, like $5.60?
Yeah, pint about 5.60.
It's
Yeah.
£5 on this website.
I remember down the road it used to be €4 for a drink on a Thursday. That used to be absolutely beautiful.
Was it cheap lands right?
Oh yeah, lands at $2.50 a pint.
Fuck off.
$2.50 for a pint. Yeah.
Jesus.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
And the old Temple Bar is like £7.
Yeah, come here. Look at what's at the Temple Bar? I remember I was in there when I was in sixth year, and it cost me $8.40 for a pint of Budweiser, and Budweiser's piss.
Fuck.
$8.40. So your man turned around and walked off with it. I wasn't paying $8.40.
Jesus. It'd kill me to pay over £6 for a pint.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. Like, you shouldn't be charging £6 for a pint, especially in a place where you can't sit down or if there's no atmosphere or anything like that. You pay for the atmosphere. You pay to go in and like sit in the place and have a good time.
Like, it's not as if they're putting the prices up because of COVID. That's literally the normal price of a drink in Dublin in Temple Bar.
No, see, that's the thing. Like, and that's really kind of ruined the tourism over here. I'd say there'd be a lot more. Like, obviously, want to get away from the whole drinking side of things over here, I'd imagine. But I'd love to see it, like, tourism wise, if you drink, like, the price of drink was a bit lower. Because I have heard from a lot of tourists the two main complaints about Ireland, where they think Ireland's going to be this, or even Dublin in particular. It's like, oh, we're going to go to Dublin, we're going to have a great time, go all these nights out. The clubs are closed at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not like the rest of Europe.
Yeah, open.
No, I know
like
that at the minute they're talking about bringing in a later time, extending it till 6. That'd be amazing. But it gets us in line with the rest of Europe. You can't buy alcohol in the shop after 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
that's another thing that annoyed them. The price of cigarettes obviously is going to go up.
It goes up every year.
It does, yeah. But they're going to be outlawed soon enough, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like the way you can't smoke in pubs now, they're going to outlaw. Can't smoke at all.
Yeah, well, that's it exactly. The smoking area gets further and further away from the job every day.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Which sounds mad. Like, they're trying to keep people safe, not catching COVID, but yet they don't give a rat's about fast food or smokes or try to keep people healthy in that aspect.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Try introduce
Like,
a healthy eating bill and see what happens.
Both of them can easily kill you. I'd say there's more deaths from smoking and blood clots and all that shit from being unhealthy than there is probably COVID.
No, there is, but you have to look at with the likes of COVID and everything like that. There's the comorbidity, like, you're looking at a lot of people that would be like overweight, or a lot of people that wouldn't be healthy, a lot of people that have underlying conditions, things to do with their hearts, their lungs already, like and they're obviously going to be hit very hard by it. Do you know what I mean? But it wouldn't work for everyone. But the best way to fight off any sort of disease or any sort of virus is to have a healthy immune system, and the only way to do that is to be healthy, is to exercise, and it's to eat well. And I feel like over here people like kind of lose sight of it. I know the gym is a big thing for like the likes of our age group at the minute, but it's not like everyone goes to the gym. Everyone likes to talk about going to the gym, but not everyone goes to the gym. You know what I mean? If you could promote it in a way where it's almost, if you can prove that you've done, say, you've gone to the gym 4 times in a week or 3 times in a week, maybe get an extra allowance. Do you know what I mean? From something like that. Just if you can prove it, like that you're being active, that you're not going to be costing the health service money.
So a sort of thing where if you go to the gym, the government give you an allowance towards your membership, sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of thing. Like if you can prove that you're signing in, you're in there doing work, you're in there working out, say like at least 40 minutes to an hour 4 times a week. That's like you're improving yourself, you're improving your health, you're improving your well-being, and you're going to be less of a drain on the state when it comes to medical expenses. You're not going to be as unhealthy. You're not going to get as many diseases, and they won't hit you as hard. Like, do you know what I mean? I just think if they could like introduce incentives like that to make people healthier, it might be a better idea than like going forward, obviously, because you can't just keep shutting things down.
No, I think the thing with gym is as well, like, people are afraid to go. They're afraid to make that first step. They're thinking like, oh, if I go to the gym, I don't know what I'm doing. People are going to judge me. I've been to probably about 4 different gyms in my life, maybe more, and all the staff in there, they're always so helpful. They're willing to help you. They're willing to come over and show you all the exercises, how to do everything properly. So I think there is that stigma around gyms that people go and they're bodybuilders. They're going to look at you and laugh at you because you're not doing it right, or don't know what you're doing, or your little skinny arms or skinny legs or whatever. Like, no one cares.
Sure, even at this, like, to go along with that as well as like, so that's the mental side of it. Another bit of the mental side is the diet. Like, and a lot of people kind of give up too early. And like I'd say, I've done this myself, where I've been doing well on the diet. I've done 2 weeks. I've been dedicated, and I'm delighted with myself. I'll have one meal or one thing that's bad, one thing that's fucking sugary or full of fat, and afterwards it's almost like the diet goes out the fucking window. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's about like not more so like your motivation. It's about your discipline. Like, you know, it's about being able to go, right, so what, I had something bad, right, well, back on the grind now. Do you know what I mean? You don't fuck out. You you don't fuck out everything, you know what I mean? Like, you don't fuck it all away if you're after starting to work for it. Like, what's a Shia LaBeouf said? I hate that I'm quoting Shia LaBeouf. It's like, if you hate starting, why do you stop in the first place? Like, or if you hate restarting, why did you stop in the first place? You know?
The hard thing I find is sticking to the diet, because I'm such a fussy eater. Like, I only onions, like, there's loads of shit I only eat, and I find it hard to stick to the diet. So I train twice a week, match on a Sunday the odd time, and then I try to go to the gym at least once a week. So I'm working out basically 4 times a week, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is good on paper and good in theory, but my diet, it can be, like, in the past week or two, it is getting better, but like, I don't eat fruit or anything.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that you have to look towards. And then even if there is certain things, like parts of your diet that you want to change, or you just don't even like the food, like, say if there's certain foods you said they're fruit, like, find different ways that you can substitute things. Like, so if you're not getting, like, say, certain vitamins that you would get from fruit, or certain minerals or whatever, why not subsidize them by taking, like, I don't know, like vitamin C or vitamin D. Like, I take a vitamin D capsule every second day, and I'd say that's why I stay so happy all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we're deficient of it over here, so there's a lot of things that people should be taking. There's a lot of ways to supplement yourself, and a lot of ways to add to your diet, but opening your mind up to different things. Now, I'm very fussy at eating as well, but I try to do it, like, especially more so now. If you open your mind up to different things, like, it's a lot better for you in the long term. You know what I mean?
Like, dieting is not about just going and eating a salad, starving yourself, and just eating veg and fruit all day. Like, you can have a bar that's doesn't have loads of calories or saturated fats and all. Like, there is stuff out there you can eat.
Yeah, if you work hard enough, you work hard enough, you eat whatever the fuck you want. That's a fact of life. I used to eat 7 to 8 meals a day when I was in 6th year, but it was only because I was going to the gym 4 times a weik, doing either 1 or 2 kickboxing trainings a week, had a football training, and then a match at the weekend. So it was constantly go, like, that's not counting, like, other activities you're doing as well. That's just off the top of my head. But if there wasn't a pick on me back then, because I was burning everything off, because you were using the fuel, like, because people aren't active enough. So, like, even with your diet it is 80% of it, but if you don't move and eat like the healthiest person in the world, you're not gonna end up looking like Arnold. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look like, hey, Arnold.
Yeah. I'm back in school. I was training every day of the week, if not twice a day. I had basketball on a Monday and a Wednesday, had football training on Tuesday, GAT training on Wednesday as well as basketball, football training on Thursday, I think I was free Friday, and the match Saturday and a match Sunday.
There you go.
Every day of the week. And then I go and fuck my leg up, and I was out for 6 years, and that all stopped.
What was it exactly? What did you do to your legs? I can actually see the scar there in front of me on your knee. Like,
it actually healed up better than it was.
Yeah.
When I got the second operation done, people in school called me Sluggy Kneecap, because it looked like a slug on my knee, obviously.
Why? Because it was a decent sized scar, then, I imagine. Yeah. What was the actual injury itself?
So, I was in Fairview Park playing football, and this is before the knee in, and we were playing on one pitch down beside the barcode down that end. And
yeah.
I don't ever been to it, bar the swim pool. But I was playing football, and we were warming up, and one of the balls went over behind the goal, and I went to kick it back to one of the lads. I thought my foot was on the grass, but it was actually on the edge of the path. I slipped, hurt my elbow, but I could move it. I'm like, I'm grand. Then after like 5-10 minutes in the warm up, my arm started to get real stiff.
Yeah.
So went to get it checked out. I think I fractured my elbow. I was in a sling, so it wasn't that bad. I think it's a fracture or a sprain, but it wasn't broke. So I was in that for about 6 weeks. Then went back to the doctor from final checkup, and I kept asking him through all this recovery. I was like, when can I go back playing football? And he goes, relax, will you just heal up for us? But at the last consultation, he said to me, you can go back playing in 2 weeks. I was like, grand. So a week and a half later, we had a friendly match in Fairview Park again.
Yep.
And I said to myself, it's a week and a half, it's only a few days short, 2 weeks. I'm going to get back playing and training and whatever. So went to the match, warmed up grand, match started, and I was in goal. We were pressed up the pitch, team the halfway line, ball came over the top, and I ran out to clear it, and I don't know what happened. I think my foot went into a pothole. I don't know actually what happened, because it happened so quickly. And next of all, I'm on the ground. Wasn't any pain at all, but yeah, I was crying, and I just knew something was up. I think the adrenaline kicked in. That's why I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
And the match was obviously stopped. Ambulance was called, and the ambulance men came over. They couldn't get the ambulance in for some reason, so they brought a trolley over a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And they asked the two smallest lads in my team to help pick me up and put me in the fucking wheelchair. They wouldn't do it themselves.
Right, just for a bit of reference here, Aaron sitting in front of me is 6'7", so like picking the two smallest lads, not the best idea.
This happened in 2010, so
6'3" then, I'd imagine.
So I was 2010. I would have been 15 at the time. So I'm about 6'3", as you said.
Yeah.
Wasn't that heavy, but anyway, got into the wheelchair, gone to the ambulance, wrapped it up in a towel actually, which was weird, and got the temperature, and they said they couldn't do an X-ray unless my leg was straight. So none of the nurse or doctor wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And of course my dad said, yeah, I'll do it. So my dad grabbed my ankle and straightened my leg out, and I couldn't feel it. Like, it wasn't sore ratting, but I could feel all the bones moving around because they were all broken and loose now.
So what was the injury? Was it like patella? Did you fuck your knee up?
Or was it? You name it, I've done it. My kneecap was sitting on top of my shin guard, like it was down there.
Oh fuck me, man! And
my dad took a picture of it. And you can see the outline of the shin guard and my kneecap and all that.
Where does the shin guard stop and the kneecap begin? Kind of
literally, yeah. And I think I broke this bone. I done something here. You can't really see if you're on Spotify. That's why you should go to our YouTube channel. Just saying.
Yeah, you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and we might even send you a photo, Aaron Scar.
And muscles, ligaments, everything that's in my knee was gone.
Yeah.
And had an operation that was only supposed to be like an hour, little keyhole yoke. See that thing there?
Yeah, I do indeed. Yeah.
That was supposed to be the original scar, and then the more they cut in, the more damage you're seeing.
Fuck.
So the scar goes from there down to like there. And I had 2 pins and a rod in a figure 8 put on my knee, and I had a half cast on which was hard at the back of my leg for like a week to let the paper
the stitches
heal. Yeah, and at the time I was doing my junior cert, and this half cast, I don't know why, but I couldn't lift my leg off the ground for some reason. I don't know why.
See, if you've done damage to the top of your leg here, just above your knee, I'd imagine a lot of the power would have went out of your leg. So that could be it, like, you know.
Not only that, I think it's something to do with cast. It felt like it being down on my leg. Yeah. I literally couldn't lift it, and trying to get out of bed to get to my junior cert was a fucking pain in the arse.
I'd say so. Did they get the two smallest lads on the team to come up and help you that day as well?
No. Another thing, while I was in the hospital, I went to Temple Street of all places because I was under 16.
Yeah.
Couldn't fit in the fucking bed. There's me, my leg straightened out. You had to get 2 pillows so my leg wouldn't hang off the bed. So they had it elevated so it'd stay on the bed.
Yeah.
But even still, it was hanging off the bed.
Fuck's sake.
But not getting to my junior cert was a pain in the arse.
Yeah, I'd say so, man.
I had to sit across the back seat and I just about fit in. And I was in a wheelchair doing the junior cert, and there was no ramp into school at the time. So my PE teacher, was like fucking 6'8", like built like a rugby player, big fucker, had to help me get into the skill. I had to be in a room by myself. And do you ever see the leg extenders on a wheelchair?
Yeah.
I had to have that on. So there's me going in like this in a wheelchair to do my junior cert. I was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't really think what the fuck do you think happened. So it was a bit of a struggle doing that exam, but luckily I didn't have another exam until the week after. So by the time my next exam came around, I had a full cast on. I was on crutches so I could fly around.
Oh god.
But
well, at least to start the heal, yeah. Has it given you any did it ever give you any problems afterwards? Like,
when I had the metal stuff in the winter time, when I had it in, it was sore because apparently it expands in your leg.
Yeah,
that
so
was sore.
The cold would make it contract, and then the heat would make it expand there. Yeah, so if you had any metal, I'd imagine that would be excruciatingly painful.
Yeah, so the metal was expanding in my leg or whatever, and I was in so much pain with that. But then I think it was about a year later, I went back and he said they didn't take the rod out because my leg healed that much. I was like, oh yeah, grand. And got that out, woke up from the operation, but I actually didn't wake up. They couldn't wake me up. They had to give me oxygen to wake me up. I was passed out for ages.
Jesus.
And as soon as they gave me oxygen, I was wide awake. But they said that because my leg healed up so well, they took the pins out as well. That's why I have a scar at the side of the leg as well. And that's from the second operation where they took the rod out, that bit. So that was all grand. The rod actually broke in my leg. It snapped.
Fucking hell.
It said that was from the muscle though. I don't know. I don't believe them.
Yeah.
So he fell in school in the hall, so I'm pretty sure that's what broke it.
And you didn't tell them that, I'd imagine.
No. So even doing the physio, they always said to me, "Oh, do this exercise, do this, make sure you're doing this." I didn't do a fucking thing at home. And every time I went back to them, they're like, "Oh, you're doing great. You must be doing loads at home." Like, no. That's why I stopped going to physio. But like, I don't know if it still does it now, but if I straighten my leg out, like say if I went to straighten up like that now, you could hear it crunching or cracking, and that's not your kneecap bone.
Yeah.
There's gel behind that, and mine's rough, so that's the noise of it moving. It's like a crunchy noise, but that's what it is essentially. I don't know if it still does it now, but if I stood up now, you could literally see the difference between my two legs. Like my right leg is like 3 times the size of my left leg, muscle wise.
That's what it is. Your meniscus behind the knee, behind your kneecap itself.
Yeah, that was rough at the time.
You damaged that. Yeah, I'd say you did a lot of damage.
Yes.
To that, yeah.
So for a while, that was a bit crunchy when I straightened my leg out, which was like even thinking of it now, I get the shivers, and because I hate all that shit.
Oh, I get you. Like I like in fairness, I've never experienced like a really catastrophic injury. The worst injury I think I've ever had is I broke my arm when I was 6. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then just for a reference here, see my arm straight, it was like an S. Yeah. But they were only, now this is the beauty of being a child when you get an injury like that. So I was running in the playground and I tripped over a slide. But it was, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was nothing mad. I was playing chasing and I tripped over a slide, yeah. So I got up off the ground and I don't really have like really, really strong memories of it. I remember people looking at me being like, John, I mean, we're only 6 and all. And then I remember my teacher's face very kind of vividly when she realised what happened. And then
this is in school.
This was in school, so we were in the playground. We were brought across the playground because the playground was only around the corner from our school.
I was about to say, you must have went to a fucking private school to have a playground.
No, just school down the road. They were never allowed to go back to the playground afterwards, so I took full responsibility for that. But yeah, so that happened. But when my arm broke, it was actually that clean of a break. So you know the way with kids' bones, obviously they haven't fused fully. So I was only 6 when this happened. So instead of having to get an invasive surgery, they were able to actually they brought me into the operating theatre and realised they were actually just able to manipulate my bones back into place. So when they put a cast on me, my bones were able to go back to normal without any surgery. So I have no scar on my arm over.
That's mad.
But I'll give you a funny injury story here. I was in Santa Ponsa with the lads. We were speaking about holidays earlier. So holidays and injuries in the one story. We were in BCM. We were after going to see Hardwell and going to see Example. And there was a water party downstairs. And in this water party, there was like water on the floor about say 3 or 4 inches deep. So you could run and slide, and it was a fucking great buzz. But some Scottish dude came over to me. He was like, "Here, man, do you want to slide tackle someone?"
Oh, fuck's sake.
And I was hammered, so I was like, "Yeah, I do want to slide tackle someone." So I picked my target very well. Unfortunately, the person I fucking slide tackled jumped. So I clipped their ankles and took out 2 more people behind them. And decided, me being hammered, I was like, this is a great idea. I'll just run and jump in my stomach. No one knows me. So I ran and jumped in my stomach and didn't realise how close the wall was. I went shoulder first into the wall and dislocated my shoulder. So there's me. I walk over to the lads. I'm holding my arm. Like nothing's wrong with me. Like, because it wasn't actually that sore. It was just sore hitting the wall. It wasn't really a sore thing with the shoulder.
Yeah.
I walk over to the lads and one of them goes, "Come here. Why are you holding your arm? What's up with you?" And I went, "Oh yeah." The arm dropped a little bit when I let go of it. So fast forward about 5 minutes, I'm standing bar side with a towel in my mouth with one of the lads trying to put my shoulder back in. And to say I remember anything from it would be a fucking lie. But imagine I blacked out a little bit from the pain, but it was pretty funny. Like, and I went home, okay.
Jesus.
Yeah. So when you're slide tackling people on a holiday in a nightclub, just be aware you can injure yourself.
Just beware of the walls.
Beware of the walls. Beware of your surroundings. Be a bit of a Leo Messi. Have your head on a swivel like a praying mantis.
Do you ever go away in secondary school? Do you ever go on any school trips like abroad?
Oh yeah, I went to Germany, and that was in 4th year, and then I went to Innsbruck in Austria in 2nd year. That was brilliant. We went skiing there. That was
deadly.
Absolutely amazing.
Class.
Yeah. So when we were there, we were on Innsbruck back in like it was either the 1950s or the 1960s, hosted the Winter Olympics. So all the pieces and all the slopes were complete. They're the exact same. Like,
yeah.
We only got fresh snow that week as well. So it was really, really, it was like perfect conditions. So we were only taught that week as well, but we were brought out onto the black slopes and everything, and It was absolutely incredible. There was one point where we were brought up onto the women's Olympic black slope, and it was the only clear day of, like, say we were brought up in like groups of, like 3 different groups. So we were either the second group or the last group to go up, and we're the only ones that got a clear day at the top of the mountains. And at this one point, you can see 5 different countries from where we were standing. Class. So if you look to the right, you can see, say, France. To the right of that, there was Switzerland, Germany. Yeah. We were already in Austria, and then you could see, I don't know, I think it might have been Italy. I'm not even too sure, but it was absolutely amazing. We were the only ones that got the full view that day, but absolutely fantastic. Austria, if anyone hasn't gone there, fucking go to a beautiful country. I'm
actually well jealous. I missed out on 3 in total skill trips, but 2 of them were abroad because of my leg. I missed out on going skiing. I don't know where it was. I'm assuming Switzerland or Austria. And I missed out on going to the north of Spain. What's it called? The fucking
Andorra, or is it the Basque Country?
No, I can't think of the name. There's a name for where you go, but you cycle across the top of Spain, really.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't think of the name for the life of me. There's a race, famous race that goes through there, I think. It's like the Italian version of the Tour de France. Oh, not the Italian version, Jesus, that's Giro d'Italia. The Spanish version of Tour de France or Giro d'Italia. I can't think of the name for the life of me.
Like, I wouldn't mind, I was walking at the time, and the physio said I can't go because it's a lot of cycling. Like, I literally cycling across the like proper top of Spain. I said, no, your leg won't hold up. And some of the stories I've heard from the lads on that holiday, like, I'm devastated and go. I'm actually like raging.
It's one of them things, man. They're very, very good for team building and just for like kind of getting a good like spirit around the year. Do you know what I mean? Like, we, like, after them sort of trips, like, we were a lot closer, even with people that you wouldn't have known too well going over. You were a lot closer. At least you felt a lot closer to them coming back from it. You know, just from the shared experience.
I went on one school trip abroad in 4th year. I went to Disneyland Paris.
Oh, lovely.
We got the boat to England, to Holyhead, drove from there down to Portsmouth, I believe, down the south of England, and then got the boat over
Harry Redknapp country.
Yeah. I seen him with his hand out the window, giving interviews.
That's it, looking for Nico Cranchar, was he?
And we got the overnight boat to France, then drove to Paris then and stayed over. I think we were only there for like 4 days, but it's fucking unreal.
Oh, brilliant.
Like, loads of lads, what would you be in 4th? You're like fucking 12 or 13, whatever. Loads of lads gone to Paris and all, and Disneyland, went to a war park and all, and it was fucking unreal.
That's fantastic. Sounds great. That actually sounds a great crack.
We were actually supposed to go back, me and Adrian, bring my little sister and her little brother in March last year. No, I don't know when we had it booked for, but it was sometime just before after the pandemic hit. I bet to cancel, so we're looking at going probably back there next year, but I don't know how I feel about Paris. It's a bit of a dodgy place.
Yeah, so I've heard, to be honest.
Same with Rome. We went to Rome there December before Rona hit, and we were there for like 5 days or a week, and we flew in to Rome, obviously, and our hotel was right in the centre of Rome, was right beside the Trevi fountain. Like, literally 2 steps away from it, so it was a good drive in. And instead of paying for a taxi, and that would have cost about bleeding 60s, I would have thought it would have cost nearly 100 quid, but apparently to have taxi service over there that only charges a set fee to the airport or something, but I didn't know that.
Alright.
So I ended up booking the bus to bring us to a bus station that was like a 15-minute walk from the hotel. Got to the bus station, got out Google Maps like a proper tourist, and we walked to the hotel, and we had our suitcases and bags on our back, and on the way to the hotel, like, Aiden's walking behind me, she goes, Aaron as well, turned around and her bag was opened and someone was trying to rob her.
Fucking hell,
and she turned around and it was like 2 L, an L flip and an L one, and my iPad was in there. And I shot me, thought my iPad was gone. I looked in it, everything was there. So I felt something on our back. She turned around and he just fucked off. And that just set the tone for the holiday. Like, I love art and I love history and all that. I love looking at all the buildings. I loved going to the Vatican City. The Vatican City was my favourite part. It's unreal.
Yeah, I've heard it's beautiful. Like,
just walking around, I always felt on edge. Like, I know no one's gonna do anything to me. I'm fucking 6'7". Like, I'll probably give off that presence. I'll fucking knock any cunt out. But the usual shit, like, it's notorious for robbing, so I left nothing in my pockets. I walked around with a little fanny pack that went over my shoulder, sort of thing, and everything went into that, and I got sick as well on the Wednesday, so I did enjoy it, but at the same time I didn't.
No, I understand completely, because I remember Barcelona had a bit of a vibe like that as well, and we were
I've
told
heard about Barcelona.
we
Jesus.
were heading up there, and they said it's this is the pickpocket capital of Europe, so keep your shit on you, like, and we were
Yeah.
told that on the bus by the tour guide. So, you know, I wouldn't mind a lovely city, but like it's one of them you should stand there on edge, and like, not stand there on edge, but like at least have a bit of your wits about you. I wouldn't walk around there too pissed, like.
Yeah.
Save that for when you get back to your apartment.
Like my dad told me, like he's been there a few times. He warned me to watch out for pickpockets. I'm like, it's probably like Dublin. Like you probably just go down the wrong
So
street or
much
whatever.
worse.
Jesus.
Public transport over there, it's rampant for pickpockets.
Yeah, we never got public transport. It's literally.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother. No, I really wouldn't if I was you. Unless you were going over to see a match or anything like that. Or you, like, you
No, I
know.
wouldn't go over a match.
No?
Their Roma fans are men.
Oh, you're still on Rome. No, geez, Roma and Lazio fans. Yeah, I'd stay away from that stadium.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
Sure, they were the ones that put Sean Cox in the
Was it Rome or what?
Rome, yeah.
That was
Rome
back in
Anfield.
2018, wasn't it? Was it the
The
lead
one
up
in
to
19, so it was 2018, yeah.
2018? Yeah.
And he's still not the same since.
He's
No, all because he went to a fucking football match, like.
I know, it's disgraceful, because there was only a thing. I remember listening to TalkSport only a while ago, and they were talking about, you know, Alioski that was playing for Leeds last year.
No,
He-
bug one.
Yeah, he was the left back off Leeds. I think he's from North Macedonia, but he wasn't offered a new contract. So Galatasaray came along and said, "Come here, we'll take you." But Galatasaray and Leeds in the early 2000s, there was 2 Leeds fans killed in Turkey at the away leg. So there was a big, a lot of the fans didn't. They were kind of like, "Go on, like it's football. Like you have a career. Go,
Yeah.
like obviously you're going to go to a team that's offering you a contract rather than sitting there jobless." But there was a lot of them that had they took exception to it. Do you know what I mean? Like they weren't very happy with that for a move, but. It's with shit like that shouldn't happen in football. Like that's as you said, there, Sean Cox, like his life has changed. Like those 2 lads that night fucking lost their lives. You know what I mean? Like over football. Like
Yeah. I don't get the point, like, I don't get the point of hooliganism, like going out to look for a fight.
no, there's
Like,
something
oh,
inherently
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
with people that do that. Like if you're going out looking for scraps, like regardless of whether it's football or not, if you're going out looking for scraps off people, there's something wrong with you. There's something lacking there. Go sort yourself out. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be putting that shit on other people. Like,
And there's people that, like, they want to be hard men, like they're at the back of the crowd jumping around, their hoods up, and as soon as
they're the
crowd
ones that
starts-
fuck a bottle.
yeah,
So they're the
and
ones in the
run
back.
away.
Are always the ones that'll throw something. Like.
And see an ambulance come, like, fuck the guards, leg it.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Out there, out like a light.
That's why I love the car, because you can literally have a laugh and slag, like,
Yeah,
literally rip the
There's
piss out of each
none
other.
of that in the GA, and I've never even heard. Now I wouldn't be the biggest GA fan, but I've never even heard of hooliganism taking like any fucking part of GA. Like,
Never seen it all before. Never seen a fight. Well, I've seen a drunk fella on the hill. I think he was a Cork lad. And
what was he doing in the hill?
I actually went to a neutral match.
Oh,
That's how big of a fan I am.
yeah.
But
We have a club fan over here.
he was locked on the hill and he was just annoying people, and someone told him to shut up and he went for him. Like, that's literally the only thing I've seen. I haven't seen like any fights or like someone getting busted open or anything.
Well, that's the thing. It's a different vibe altogether. But like hooliganism, you'd nearly like only associate it with English football because of the way everything was years ago, and even movies like Green Street. But it's a lot more prevalent in other places. Like you don't see much for or hear much of it in England. But look at the likes of Ukraine, the likes of Italy, like Poland. Yeah, there you go. Like there's a lot of fans there. Well, it's claimed to be fans, but I think they just show up because they never made it into the UFC. Like that was it. You know what I mean? Like, they're just looking for someone to take a scrap off of.
Do you ever see the yoke on Netflix about there's a thing I think it's in Italy, and it's like they're playing football, but it's like football and UFC mixed together. I can't think of the name of it for the life of me. I think you actually told me to watch it.
I do know what you're talking about. I can't remember for the life of me. Leave it with me, and on the next episode we'll talk about this for definitely. We'll actually bring up a few clips of it next time once we have our young Jamie employed.
So if you're called Jamie and good at video stuff and podcasting, gives a shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Have your name's like Jamie, fuck off.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but I watched that and it's literally like UFC and football mixed together. Like you literally go and punch the head off each other, then after you shake hands. That's what I love about like stuff like that, like fighting in the UFC. They hate each other before it, but they always say the same thing. If you have the balls to step in a ring, they have respect.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like it takes a lot of balls for anyone to do that. Like, you know what I mean? You have to put yourself in the shoes. You're someone that's never mind if it's in front of like Madison Square Garden or the MGM Grand, anything like that, or even fucking Crow Park. Like, if you're stepping into a ring or an octagon and you're there across from another person that's trained to kick your head off your shoulders, you have a pair of bollocks the size of grapefruits. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's all couple of jokes after bollocks.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing. Like, you're cut from a different kind of cloth. Then, like, you have to be. See, I don't know. Like the UFC, MMA now, I love it. You know, I really do. I'm a huge fan of it, and I have so much respect for the sort of people that can get in there, that believe in their own ability that much to be able to go get the job done. And I've trained with lads that are at a high level in martial arts, and like the dedication that they show, it goes above and beyond what you need to be putting into a sport. Like,
yeah,
they are some of the greatest athletes you'll ever see in the world. Like, some of the things they can do are incredible, and not just in the UFC. There's like, look at ONE FC is brilliant as well. Bellator has some good shows. Even like the likes of around like in Ireland, you're looking at Clan Wars MMA. You're looking at the likes of Cage Warriors in the UK and Ireland as well. Bama. There's a lot of places to find that if you're really that interested in MMA. Yeah. Cage Warriors actually have a card coming up next Saturday. I'm definitely going to be tuning in. So I think it's on UFC Fight Pass. So if anyone's looking for a good night of entertainment, why not jump on that?
Is it this Saturday or the Saturday this goes out?
It's not. Oh, that's a good question. We don't know when this is going out actually.
So if you have a date, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, we'll find out the date. I'll find out the date now in a minute.
I'd love if UFC came to Crow Park.
Yeah, it'd be unbelievable, because I remember just before the pandemic kicked off, I bought tickets to go see Robert Whittaker against Darren Till. It was supposed to be in the Tree Arena. Me and one of my mates were going to go, and I've never been more excited for a fight in my entire life. And it's the two lads that were in it, Darren Till, Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker's one of the best fighters I've ever seen, like, especially in that weight class. He's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I can't wait for him and Izzy to fucking punch the head off each other. That's going to be incredible too.
I remember me and mate went to Gymshark out in the RDS, and Darren Till was going to be there. I didn't have got a clue who he was, because I wasn't a big UFC fan. I literally like followed McGregor, and that was it.
And when would this have been like
probably about 3-4 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, about 3-4 years ago. And the Gymshark event was on, and I wanted to go in. Like, it was longer than that. When did we work together? The fourth time was about it would have been about 4 or 5 years ago. Back when I used to hit the gym, I thought I was fucking skinny with a bit of muscle on me. I was like, oh yeah, I might go get a nice discount on a Gymshark out. No, the usual shy. Yeah. You get a bit of muscle, you go buy Gymshark. First thing you do.
That's how you start looking at your arms. And
literally,
where'd you come from?
And it turns out Darren Till was going to be there, so my mate wanted to go to see him, and I wanted to go maybe get a few discounts on the top or whatever. But everything was mad expensive. But he met Darren Till, and I met the founder of Gymshark, Ben Francis.
Oh, daddy.
And it's not as if like he was just in the corner with security and you had to line up to get a picture. He'd literally walk around like a normal lad, and he'd rather than like going up, taking a picture and fucking off, he'd let you, like, stand there and have a chat with you.
Oh, unreal.
He was so down, like, he was so sound, so down to earth.
Oh, happy days. Yeah, just for reference here, it's not this weekend. It's not the 24th, 25th, 26th. It's the following weekend going into
October. The week this is out.
Yeah. So that'll be the week this is out then, yeah. So if anyone's listening, tune into Cage Warriors. You'll actually probably see some absolutely cracking fights, especially if you have Fight Pass there, you may as well.
Let's go back on what we said. It's this Saturday.
Yeah.
You're right the first time.
Yeah, so I was right the first time. Happy day.
But I think another reason why I wanted to go to that, because I seen him on YouTube. Like, he's so open what he does. He puts everything out there, and the way he built it from nothing. And he signed like £1 billion deal there, I think it was last year or the year before. Like, that's some inspiration. Like, a lad just literally setting up a business from his house, selling gym stuff to where he is now, and to document it as well. If you want to search him on YouTube, his name is Ben Francis. He has a few videos, interviews and all that shit. Like, he's real sound, and he's so open. Like, everything's out there.
Oh,
and he's always willing to help. He's always willing to help. Like, there was a fella in front of me asking him for tips on how to like grow his business and how to get into stuff, and he literally stood there for about 10-15 minutes just trying to explain to him and help him, rather than saying be yourself, do it. Like, he actually properly helped him.
He was actually able to give him a voice that he would be able to use. Like,
and I thought I was literally going up for a picture, and I ended up standing there chatting for about 20 minutes to him.
Yeah,
like, he's so sound.
Oh, brilliant. Well, like, that's always great when you meet someone like that and they come across as the sort of person, like, they come across the sort of person you'd actually like to chat to again. Like, there's that old phrase, like, you never want to meet your heroes. Now, obviously, he's not a hero to you, but still, you might have gone in there thinking, like, oh, I bet you this guy's a bit of a dick or something like that, and come out then being like, he's a sound dude. I'm delighted he's after doing so well for himself.
Do you know, I was actually really sound who I met by mistake. I didn't know who was him at the time.
Who?
When I was doing deliveries for that place we worked together in.
Oh yeah, that place.
Yeah, that won't be named.
Yeah, we can't name that.
Done delivery, and we were trying to find this gaff. Put into Google Maps, and we pulled up, and we thought we were at the right place, and the gates were like about 6 foot tall, like fairly tall gates. I was trying to look over the gate, see what number gaff it was, and I was having a look around. The next while someone goes out the top window, he goes, "You alright, mate?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to find 123 Fake Street, wherever the fuck it was. Is this it?" He goes, "Yeah, this is it." What? I was like, "It's delivery." So he goes, "I'll be down now." So he came down, came into the front gate. He goes, "What does he have?" I was like, "I have a delivery for X person. I'm from this company, blah blah blah." And I showed him the page we had, docket basically. And he goes, "Yeah, this is the address, but that person doesn't live here. I'll ring my wife and see what she says." And he rang his wife, and we were standing there like chatting. We were like so confused about what's going on. So I tried to ring the numbers on the docket. And next of all, someone down the road, about probably 5 doors down, was standing there like, "Yeah, that's me, blah blah blah." But the person that helped us was, and the chap was trying to sort it out. Didn't have to come out, didn't have to help us. But I was standing there, and he looked real familiar to me. I went down, like I was standing there like with a big confused face on me, and I walked down to one. I was like, "Do you know who that is that lives down the end of the street there that helped me?" "Oh yeah, that's Brian O'Driscoll."
No way.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
It's out of nowhere, just came out and helped us. Like, didn't tell us to fuck off or didn't think we're robbing the place. Literally came out, nice lad, helped us. And I'm a big rugby fan, so I know who he is. I know him seeing him on the telly, but when I seen him in person, I was like a bit confused.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. It's actually great to hear that he's a sound dude. Like,
oh, he's
he's a fucking fabulous rugby player back in the day. Like, unbelievable.
I wasn't a big rugby fan, but every time I watched Ireland play, I used to love watching him. And
he represented the country better than anyone. Like, you know what I mean? Really, he wore the flag on his chest. That fella, like,
yeah.
Like, a fucking fair play to him for everything that he did. Like,
yeah, I used to love watching Stringer as well.
Peter Stringer,
yeah. Little fight, I don't know what size he was, but compared to all the rugby lads, he was like a little kid to them, and the way he moved around and
you should remember, you'd see him standing in between Paul O'Connell and I believe
John
Hayes.
The biggest lads in the team.
Squashed him one day. Like, you're gonna be a bleeding Peter Stringer Sambo coming down in a minute.
Like, I love sport and all, but rugby is just one thing I couldn't get into.
Rugby was I played one game of rugby when I was younger. It did not go well for me. I think I got a try or two and I got absolutely creamed. Not even in a tackle, in a ruck. Someone stood on my head and I was like, you know what?
Jesus.
No, I don't want this. I was only like 10, just turned me off it completely. Obviously just didn't really suit me, to be honest. I didn't really like having that many bruises on my face.
Like, it's bad enough seeing a fucking 6'7", 20-stone fella run towards you, and they see the studs they wear.
Oh, come here. You can only imagine. I was 10 and I didn't like it. Imagine the poor bastards getting a tackle now. Like, and these are like super athletes, some of them. Like, oh my days. Like, you'd be taken off the map. You'd be in a coma after one tackle, man.
Yeah.
Clothesline from hell from Brian O'Driscoll. Like, it wouldn't be the best thing in the world.
Do you ever see Rugby Tackle's worst hits?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
That put the fear of God into you, man. That would literally. Oh, no.
I was asked to play rugby in secondary school, but one, I hadn't got time, and two, I didn't know anything about it, didn't know the rules about it, and I wasn't arsed learning it.
See, I would have played it had they played it in my school. It's just wasn't arsed trekking out to fucking to Clontarf to do it. Like. And obviously getting the head stood on really was a big factor there too.
I'm kind of glad I got in primary school. I was offered a scholarship to Belvedere.
Yeah.
And I didn't take it because, one, I thought it was too far. Like, when I was younger, I thought town was fucking Kildare or something, like miles away. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't take it. But I say if I would have went there, I probably would have ended up playing rugby.
You probably would have, yes. I think it's compulsory for the first year anyway. Like,
fuck off.
I think so, yeah.
No,
I believe it's either there and CUS it's compulsory for a year, but I'm not too sure which one, and it might even be both. But I know at least one of them it's compulsory for the first year to do it.
As I said, everything happens for a reason. I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have met you probably if I went to Belvedere.
Well,
I should have went to fucking Belvedere.
To anybody.
Should have went to fucking Belvedere.
Uh-huh.
I should have went to fucking Belvedere. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this.
Oh, but there you go.
I'd be on the fucking beach, multi-millionaire.
You'd be in a proper studio.
Proper. Although we have the
proper mics and proper 12.
These are actually proper mics.
Yeah, it's the only proper thing in the room.
Yeah.
The only proper thing about this property.
But I try not to live in the past. I do what makes me happy, and I literally over the past probably year or two, I definitely do things that make me happy. You know yourself what I've been through.
Man, as you me, more than anything, that's fucking great to hear. Like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's absolutely fantastic. And like, I like to think I'm doing something similar. You know what I mean?
No, but people put too much stress on themselves to try to please others.
Oh, well, that's it. And like perfectionism and everything like that. Like
That was one thing that affected me so much.
I would say so, because in fairness, if you're gonna do something, you want it done properly.
Yeah.
That being said, if anyone's watching this on video, you can see the wall isn't even fully painted. So I'm not really one for doing shit properly.
Why is there an X in the wall?
It marks the spot.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What spot is it? G spot?
Don't know. Never found it.
Same. I love the setup. It's like,
Very much.
see, if you would have said to someone this is a proper studio, they would have believed you.
Do you think so? Well,
Yeah.
maybe if we're facing that way, perhaps. But like, you know what I mean? A nice little paint job. Might square the telly up so it's actually perfectly in between the two guitars. And I'll get the decks firing up one of the days. We'll have it looking properly.
But you can do that for one of our shows.
Yeah, we could. Sure, we've the strobe lights behind the camera there and everything.
Oh,
so.
fuck.
Yeah, there's 4 different sets of strobe lights. This is a rave cave. This is
A proper after sesh.
proper after sesh, man. That's what you want. That's what you have. Sure, I had a few down the other night, man. And it's the first time we had people dancing here. The lights were going underneath there. Fucking brilliant it was. Absolutely great. Love it when things like that happen. You're just back off a holiday. You don't miss the holiday as much.
Do you reckon people are going to go heavier this time around? Nightclubs are open and all that. Like, do you think people are going to be more inclined to go out and drink more just because they can?
See, I'm really kind of like, this is what kind of perplexes me about it, because obviously people have been drinking in their houses, but I noticed myself, my tolerance has gone to shit in comparison to where it used to be. And that's not a bad thing, because like, you spend too much money. I used to, like, me personally, I'd always spend way too much money on nights out and I'd be broke, like. But now I feel like if I went out and had 6 or 7 pints, I'd be like, I'd feel it. I'd really feel it, like. And then by about 8 or 9, I don't think I'd be feeling fucking anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It really does depend. I think at the start you're going to see a lot of people are going to be very fucking messy. There'll be a lot of vomit and a lot of dance floors, and a lot of people getting put into. They're probably going to have to reopen the drunk tanks in most of in most of the pubs, because there won't be enough taxis to get all the drunk fuckers home.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Look, we'll see what happens, and I honestly cannot wait. I cannot wait for when nightclubs fully reopen and WAP comes on.
Oh, for God's sake.
I heard someone saying that when it was in Lanzarote, and genuinely everyone in the club went, "He actually has a fucking point there, yeah."
No,
But
God, no.
Clubs in general, they're well needed, because even when you work from home, and even with the pubs being open and everything like that, it's like it's not the same. So like, you can go to a pub, lovely. You can go and sit down and have your pint brought over to you, lovely. I'd rather go up to the bar and order.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to be able to get up and have a dance. I'd like to be able to hear a bit of music.
You want to do a shot at the bar with some random stranger.
Exactly. Even if it is the same young fella that's sitting there playing the same fucking 5 songs every day for the last 10 years, it's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
all I can say is, note to self: never drink with Adam on an empty stomach after pre-drinking in your gaff all day.
nope. You'll end up
Worst
falling in
decision
love with furniture.
With a lamp.
Yeah.
Miss-
You still miss that lamp too?
I do. I miss it. I dream about it every day.
Every day.
Mate, that was the biggest mistake in my life.
No, the silver bullets beforehand were the biggest mistake. Yeah.
Pre-drinking in mine, I never pre-drink. I literally just go out and enjoy my night, save money, whatever. I don't know why I pre-drink that day. Didn't eat all day bar breakfast, and then drinking with you. The only person that I know that can handle the drink in around the same as me, if not better. So I can appreciate it in that sense. But that night, you fucked me up. You're like, Aaron, come on, we do a silver bullet.
My pleasure.
Like, come on, we do a silver bullet. I'm like, what's that? It's Sambuca and tequila mixed together. I'm like, fuck. And then I think,
Can't really say no to a proposition like that, can you?
what do we have? We had Sambuca, we had tequila, then we had them mixed together.
We had
Then
a
we had-
Sambuca, we had 2 tequilas, we had a Sambuca. I remember this very clearly. With 2
I don't.
with two tequilas, 1 Sambuca, and 2 silver bullets. And then I went to get the 3rd silver bullet, and then your head went down on the bar a little bit. So I drank mine, and then I nearly got sick on the bar. And then I walked you over, and then you fell in love with the lamp.
I blacked out for like probably half an hour at night.
You're probably better off with the lamp that night. Half of the L ones and the gowns, I know.
That's the thing, like, when I get drunk, I like to think I can recover quickly, because I think after like half an hour blacking out and not knowing what happened, I was nearly fresh as a daisy within half an hour.
Yeah, you were fairly fresh by the end of it. Sure, we ended up having to, won't name any names, you know who you are. We ended up having to fucking send that fucker back in the taxi, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
he who falls asleep on streets.
don't get me started.
We won't. We'll save that for another time. Once again, you know who you are.
But that wedding I went to last month in Trimcastle, first time I had a proper drink since, I don't know, before the pandemic, like years. Not years, about a year or so. I enjoyed that night. I drank to my heart's consent. I was going up every...
Contention, mad bastard. Your heart's consent.
My heart consented to it.
That's
I
fine.
had to get permission from it.
But the permission slip, did you?
Literally. As soon as I could drink, I lashed them back. The first drink I had tasted so good. And not to toot my own horn, but no one could keep up with me. I went to the bar and anyone around? Nah, I'm grand. Oh, I was in some state.
That's it, like, when you get yourself into one of them moods, and especially when it's the first time drinking again, there's a different buzz in the air.
Like, I think I probably had about 20 points, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in some state. I'm on mind. The next day was the semi-final of the All-Ireland, and I woke up next morning hung over to bits, getting sick. But after a few hours, like, I was brand new, fresh as daisy. Drove back to Dublin, unfortunately, for the semi-final, which we lost, which is heartbreaking. And then I ended up driving back to Trim that night. So I enjoyed that weekend, but at the same time I didn't.
Yeah. Well, come here. Do you want to talk about a weekend you definitely did enjoy?
Oh God.
My first weekend in Lanzarote, you were in Dublin, and you got to see the exact... Oh, sorry, it was the second week I was in Lanzarote. You got to see the exact same thing that I got to see, and I'd say the smiles on our faces were just about as big. We got to see Mayo lose again, and that is just a fantastic feeling.
I don't know where this was going.
No, it was great, man. You get to see Mayo lose, man. It's just a yearly tradition that I fucking love.
Not gonna lie, watching that final, I was laughing, big smile on my face. I was chuffed.
Man, every bleeding shot went wide.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, it was brilliant. Like, it was like a game of like who wants to win this, because no one seems to, like. Do you know what I mean?
It was that.
The two Tyrone goals were fantastic though. The two punches. Like.
Don't know which goal it was, but Morgan's kick out fucking kicked about 60-70 yards. Man caught it clean in midfield, laid it off, ran through on goal and scored. Like, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
The run off the shoulder, the kick out.
It was actually really. It was a really good. It was a really interesting game to watch. And in fairness, I'd rather watch a game where Dublin aren't playing, because it's not as predictable.
Yeah, it's getting, I won't say boring, but for the first few years, from about 2011 up until about the 5 in a row, was good. But then after that, I think it went downhill. I'm not blaming Desi Ram, but I think I've talked to my mate about this, and it feels like we're getting distant to the team. Like, we don't have that connection anymore, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at it as well, though, the amount of players that have left over the last few years, that would have been the core of the side that got 5 in a row, and that started off. What was it, 2011 when they beat Kerry? The core of that team, for the most part, isn't there anymore. And it's a natural, like, part of sport, though. Like, a lot of them have aged out of the team. You're looking at a lot of younger players coming through that are trying to stamp their claim in the side. So
yeah,
I wouldn't have any fear for Dublin football going forward. Really, like, I'd say give them another 2 years before they start getting back up to the sort of level that they were at beforehand.
But what annoys me is other accounts that complain that we're so good, but they're not doing nothing about it. They're still at the same level they were, but we're getting better. Why not put your money into your resources under fucking grassroots football, develop your teams, and try compete with us? Because for me as well, it's shy going to a match where your fucking hockey team's fucking by 15-20 points. That's why I love going to club football matches. I love going to the Neller over Crow Park any day now. I'm actually going on Sunday, I think, hopefully now. Oh, yeah. But I'm not sure the matches, but Ballybowden, Crokes, Nafina, and another team are playing. I don't know which team is playing which, but probably the 4 best teams in the country are playing. Yeah,
so you're gonna get good football regardless. Like, and I wouldn't mind. It's probably a lot better. Like,
actually, when this is out, it's Sunday gone. So
we'll insert results in the comment section. I suppose. Yeah.
But I'd much rather go to the Neller, because one, it's full of, like, I won't say proper fans, but they're loyal. No, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I don't want to.
You don't want to alienate anyone, really. Like,
yeah, but you know, when you go to club football, it just feels like
it's more of a communal vibe. It's the local vibe. Yeah, there. It's the parish kind of thing.
It's what I used to get when I went to Crow Park, fucking for years. It's that feeling I get of a community, of sense of
It's what
friendship,
GA's really
family.
all about,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, GA is about the community as much as it is about football and about
And these
hurling.
club players, like, they're not. Some of them are inter-county players, but majority of the teams are just normal lads who never played county. So they're just literally like. I know inter-county players are normal lads, but then these are level below them, sort of thing. Like, they're not as well known.
They wouldn't be the first 15 on the county panel. Like. You'd get a few lads that be spotted in there from the county team.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, let's say you have the likes of Ballymun Kickums, you have about fucking 6 players in the Dublin team,
Yeah.
and the other players on the team wouldn't be as well known in Dublin and also outside of Dublin, but the likes of James McCarthy is known fucking probably in New York and Australia.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So they're obviously getting sponsorships. They're like a celebrity status sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. A lot of them get I don't know if it's the same with every other team, but I know a lot of the Dublin team, they all get cars. They're also
Mitsubishi's, I think it is now.
Mitsubishi's, yeah. It's whoever sponsors them. I know they
Was
get the cars.
Subaru.
A lot of them get jobs in banks. I know
That's
that because
unfortunate.
AIB, isn't it AIB?
They employ a good few of them.
Did you?
They have a GA team, and there's actually a few players in that team.
Is there actually? I'd imagine so. Yeah.
I did want to play for it, but at the same time, I'm happy where I am.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
I'm still trying to get back to where the standard I want to be at.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All you can do is work towards it step by step. You know what I mean? And you'll get there by the end of the day. Look.
That's why I want to try to get back into League of Ireland matches. I want to try all the more balls matches because I want to try support. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm supporting Liverpool and never really go to matches. I've been to probably about 3 Liverpool matches, whereas I can go to a football match on my doorstep and watch it live.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't mind the atmosphere at some of them League of Ireland games are absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And I can only imagine what they'd be like if they actually had full stadiums.
Yeah, so even the match during the Aviva for the Europe Conference, savage.
I'd say the atmosphere was absolutely electric.
Mate. Like the Stewart tried to separate people and social distance, all that shit, but the fans behind the goal didn't give a rat's.
I wouldn't say so. Like that's the thing.
Mate, it was fucking unbelievable.
And I wouldn't mind the performances. Bowls, I'll pick them out a bunch of the performances they put in were absolutely spectacular.
Like being
Pauk, they beat Pauk. And Pauk had a. They've had there was.
They've internationals and all on the team.
They had a striker playing up front that was a Portuguese international. So you're looking at this a group of lads probably all from Dublin or all around the Cabra Finglas kind of area, like, or a lot of them are anyway. Like
bar George Kelly.
There you go, yeah. But but like look at that. That's a fantastic achievement what they were able to do, and even like the likes of you're seeing League of Ireland football now is getting a bit more notice with the likes of Stephen Kenny. You know, say what you want about it, it's the results from the team, but it's nice to see lads from the League of Ireland actually getting a bit of a shout. The likes of a James Talbot, called up, even if it is like a case where you're not going to get picked.
It's still the experience of going,
the experience of being in the
and even training with the lads, training like Seamus Coleman, fucking McLean, and
that's it. Like Seamus Coleman, consummate professional. Like he'd be the perfect sort of head to have in that camp.
Who's your favourite Irish player ever?
Paul McGrath.
Ever?
Yeah,
Hands down.
Yeah, I used to watch videos of Paul McGrath before I played football matches. One match in particular, '94 World Cup against Italy. Used to watch his highlights from that before playing a big game.
He'll be a second choice.
Oh, we're gonna go down that route.
I'm just curious.
Second choice would be Roy Keane. I'd rather, even playing football, I'd be happier with a tackle than a goal. Like, do you know what I mean? I love a 50-50.
Do you know who I used to love growing up? Steve Finnan.
Steve Finnan was an absolute baller.
I don't know where
the same for Ireland. He always got played left back for some reason. It never made any sense to me. Like,
yeah, I don't know where that's me being biased because I support Liverpool as well, but I used to love watching him growing up.
He's a good footballer, very good footballer. Where did he end up? After Liverpool, he went to Espanyol, wasn't he?
I haven't a clue, mate.
He went off to Spain somewhere like that. He didn't Ian Hart on.
Ian Hart, oh my god, what a legend.
Ian Hart as well, yeah.
Fucking break my heart a few times playing for Leeds, but
him and Ireland.
Him and fucking Mark Viduka.
Oh Jesus, Mark Viduka. I remember him. He only came to life when he needed the new contract. That was it.
Harry Kewell as well. Fucking unreal for Leeds and came to us. He was like,
giving the Aussies a fucking awful time now at the minute. Like,
he was, yeah.
Yeah.
He was Australian. Fucking Cahill of everything.
Timmy Cahill. He tried to play for Ireland. He wanted to play for Ireland for the 2002 World Cup. As far as Cahill, Cal, Irish name, but he'd already gotten a cap for I think it was American Samoa or Western Samoa at the time.
Yeah, but why did you try to play for Ireland?
Because he had Irish ancestry. He was playing for Preston.
People want to leave Ireland.
I know, yeah. But no, I think he did well enough for himself, Timmy Cahill, in fairness. But that would have been some strike partnership. Robbie Keane and Timmy Cahill wouldn't have been too bad up front, would it?
No,
not at all.
We probably would have.
Still not qualified for anything.
Yeah. As much as like they're two great players, it's Ireland. Come on, be realistic.
I wouldn't mind if you look at it as well now. Like the teams that we've qualified with for tournaments in the last few years that haven't been anywhere near the standard of the sides that didn't qualify for tournaments a few years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're looking at the 2004 Euros. Like, not qualifying for that was rough. Do you know what I mean? The 2006 World Cup, Germany, rough, and they were good sides. Like, even up as far as the 2010 World Cup, I still thought we had a decent side. That even they did show in the qualifying that with the two World Cup finalists, the winners obviously and the runners up, France and Italy were the winners. They drew with Italy twice, and they drew up France over 90 minutes. Oh, they beat France in France over 90 minutes, and lost in Dublin over 90 minutes. Jeez. You know what I mean? So we did have the calibre of player there at the time to actually maybe not win something, but to challenge bigger teams and actually ask a few questions. Where now I think the fucking standard kind of felt like the arse fell out of Irish football. Do you know what I mean? The standard it's really dipped. It really has. It's like that the last few years.
Do you think 2010 World Cup was the best one ever, considering the song that was played, the players that were playing in it?
I personally wasn't a big fan of it.
No,
I really wasn't. It was the Vuvuzela that did my head in.
Apart from that, just watch it on mute.
There's a lot of good, like, mad memories from it. There was a lot of moments. I remember Mark Van Bommel not getting a yellow card throughout the entire tournament is one of the crazy things I've ever heard. Nigel de Jong deciding he was going to go into MMA and kick Xavi Alonso in the heart, in the chest.
Yeah.
That was that moment to remember. Iniesta's goal as well. Joe, did you ever see he takes the top off? He takes off his jersey, and written on the vest underneath is a message for Danny Harke. One of his he was a Spanish footballer. He died that year. He collapsed on the pitch. I think he took that sudden death.
Yeah.
And it's very poignant at the moment, obviously, with what happened to Christian Eriksen in the last Euros. But yeah, he took off the top and he dedicated the goal to Danny Harke.
For about him.
He was I can't remember. I think he was a captain of a Spanish league side. I can't remember who exactly it was though. But did you hear anything actually? See with Christian Eriksen, is he kind of ever play football again? Do you reckon?
I say he can, but not at
a top level kind of thing.
I say he might go if he is to play again. He might go abroad to maybe America or back to Denmark or. He won't be in the top 5 leagues, I don't think. Yeah,
because I know Inter are still kind of running tests at the minute to try, but like that was genuinely one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like
the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life was the Bahrain Grand Prix with Roman Grosjean.
Oh my god!
I watched that live. Mate, my heart sank watching that.
I thought he was dead.
So did I. Oh my god!
It was up there. There was a similar accident a few years ago. Do you remember Felipe Massa? The spring came out of the car and hit him in the face. Like, only the fact that he was wearing a helmet, he would have died. The spring came out and smacked him in the face. Like, that's another sport for head cases right there. Formula 1. Big respect for anyone that does that. Do you know what I mean? Even if your dad did buy you the car and the team and everything else to go along with it.
F1 I used to watch it when I was younger, and I used to play on the PlayStation 1 or 2 whenever it was out, and I only really got into it probably since Max Verstappen came back, started driving. What was that, 2016, 17? And
it was, yeah. I think Max is my favourite driver.
Yeah, I love him.
Unbelievable. I'm a big fan of Fernando Alonso, and I really am a fan of Sebastian Vettel as well, but Max Verstappen,
legend. Did you see the Dutch Grand Prix?
Oh, I actually didn't know.
Oh, mate, watch the highlights of it. The crowd is unbelievable. It's definitely on the bucket. Oh, what a sound!
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's definitely on the bucket list. I'd love to go to a Grand Prix. It's expensive and all, but I'd love to go to the Dutch one and see Max drive.
Whereabouts is the Dutch Grand Prix? Do you know? So I'll ask that again so the microphone can actually pick it up this time. Whereabouts is the Dutch Grand Prix? Do you know?
I can't pronounce it. I'm not too sure.
I'm not surprised. It's probably a mad Dutch name.
It's probably so simple. I don't know. I just can't remember.
Oh, fair.
But I'd love to go to it.
I remember my mum and dad went to Monza before for the Italian Grand Prix, and when they went in, they were handed earplugs because the cars are that loud going around the track. Even with the earplugs, all you can hear is like literally just unbelievable. Now they said the atmosphere was great, and they met a celebrity that day who was flown in on a helicopter. Believe it or not, Matt Lucas, and I think David Williams. It was one or the other. The lads from Little Britain came in on a helicopter.
That's deadly.
Yeah, gas. Like, you always see celebrities on the track there.
Yeah. Do you ever see the clip of the American Grand Prix where some fella found a microphone beside the stand. Do you ever see the microphones that had the big like 4 yoke on it?
Yeah.
He found one of them beside the stand. He went over to it, put his mouth beside it, and then Tommy Karen boy was like, meow, and it picked up on the telly. It's so childish, but it's so fucking funny.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Just you see cars going by, all he hears meow meow meow.
That reminds me of there was the interview done on the Keys in Dublin only a few months ago, and it was talking about, say, drug use in Ireland.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. He's like that. And cocaine use has spiked in Dublin. Your man comes along, I love cocaine.
It reminds me from something from like Far Ted or something.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, genuinely. That's it. Put straight over sitcom, that one. Like.
Far Ted, what a show.
Father Ted was brilliant.
If that was made now, it'd be cancelled.
Yeah, it wouldn't be made now. It wouldn't.
Oh, God, no.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I remember I went to, I think it was a Gaiety, to see a show, and the man that plays Father Jack was in it. He looked so different.
He does, doesn't he?
Holy shit. Like, I was only a kid and went to see it, and my man goes to me, do you know what that is there? I'm like, no, he goes to Father Jack from Father Ted. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Jesus. He does some work on that show.
Bet you didn't say drink, feck, or arse once.
Or girls.
Oh,
Girls.
What's the other one he says? Women's knickers. Head case. Whoever wrote that character is brilliant. Like,
the man that played Ted, right? No?
I don't know. I'd say Dermot Morgan did do a lot of the writing for the same guy that made the IT Crowd. Had a big involvement with Father Ted as well. Can't remember the name for the life of me at the minute, but
I need to watch that as well.
Do you know who actually is a quite good stand-up from that show? Dougal, Ardal O'Hanlon. He's quite good at stand-up.
I'd love to get him on.
Yeah, he'd be brilliant. Ardal, if you can hear me.
Ardal, if you can hear me.
Ardal, if you hear me. Come on to my show, please. Yeah, and then I have a funny story for you as well. Mrs. Doyle. My dad used to be a taxi driver, and he picked up Mrs. Doyle one night. And apparently she was a bitch.
No.
Didn't even leave a tip. What a snake. Anyway.
Didn't even offer a cup of tea or nothing.
Didn't even offer him a cup of tea.
Bastard.
I know, yeah. I thought he'd be expected if Mrs. Doyle was in the car just to be like, go on. Go on, go on, go on, go on.
A red light. Go on.
That's it. Break the red light. Break that red light. Go on. Go on, go on, go on.
Do you ever see the yoke on Netflix with Zac Efron? Something to do with Earth and all that.
No.
I watched it was either last year or the year before. I don't know when it came out. And he's gone around the world to talk about like fucking global warming, health, all this shit.
Yeah.
And he's been to a few places. He went to Iceland and he went to Italy. And when he was in Italy, he was I think he done an episode on water. Okay. And now like the water you buy in the shop and all.
Yeah.
Some of that is not good for you. Over what's in it.
Okay, like what do you mean, like?
See, it was such a long time since I watched it. I don't want to fucking.
You don't want to misquote.
Yeah. But he went somewhere where the water was like so pure and so healthy. He said, "This tastes amazing." And when he was in Rome, I actually seen it myself. But this before I watched it, obviously. When you're walking around Rome, there's like little taps or fountains of water coming out of it, and apparently that water is so clean and really nice, like drinkable water.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise like some of the stuff you buy in the shop is not that great for you. There's a certain ingredient that's in water that's not supposed to be great for you or something.
Okay.
I have to rewatch it again because
definitely because it'd be like interesting enough to know there. Like hopefully I'm not putting the fucking wrong stuff in my body. Like
because
I have enough spice bags there. Trouble enough at the minute. Like.
I'm pretty sure Volvic is okay to drink.
Yeah, probably.
Because Aiden drinks, I think she said it's alright. Question: do you think different water tastes different? Like if you drink Volvic compared to Ballygowns, that how it tastes? Does it taste different? Because Aiden always slags me over this, saying all the water tastes the same.
Kind of, but like at the end of the day, it's water. Like I kind of just drink it. I don't really think of the taste of water. Do you know what I mean? I just hammer it into me. I don't really drink water when I eat it.
Like I'm not a big I know it's water, but I'm not a fan of Volvic water.
Really?
I think it just tastes different.
They've lovely flavoured water actually, Volvic.
No, I'm not a fan of
flavoured water. They're not a sponsor.
Insert
sponsors.
Insert sponsor here. But
actually, you know what? Speaking of sponsors, this would be a great time for it to run an ad for our sponsors. Fuck yeah, we've no sponsors.
Not yet, anyway.
No, not yet. Slots are open there. If anyone does want to sponsor us, you're more than welcome to send us over a message. Who knows? We might tell you to fuck off.
I need to rewatch that Zac Efron. It's actually really good.
Yeah, good. Send me on the name.
I will. I did look. Yeah. It's actually really interesting. He went to Iceland as well, and that's actually one place I want to visit.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think I just fell in love with Iceland because the fans. Like, they're such a small country and they're just so passionate. Like, they go to a match and like a third of the population is at that match.
Yeah,
It's mad.
Absolutely mental. Like, you'd love to be. Honestly, if you were robbing houses as a profession in Iceland, you'd be absolutely buzzing every time they go to a tournament.
Yeah, but it looks like a nice place as well, because you went there and it actually looks really nice in there. They care about the people and the environment, all that shit. I think the ground is heated as well.
Well, yeah. So there's a lot of the things over there. Be geothermal energy, be how a lot of it works. So a lot of their power comes from heat coming from the underground.
I think Zac Efron went to that.
It's relatively new as a landmass as far as they go. Like.
Yeah, like, I've been pretty much everywhere. I've been to England, France, Spain, America, Italy. The only place I really want to go is Iceland.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't go to Australia. Fuck that. That's one place I'd never go.
See, the only thing that really bugs me about Australia is
bugs.
No, there's more than only one thing. But, you know what, Australia, like, it's just such a fucking trek. Like, no, I wouldn't want. That's the only thing. Like, I know people have like 26-hour flights and things. Like, obviously, you can stop off in places. Like, fuck that. I did 4 hours the other day with no phone, and I was delighted I fell asleep. Like, if I didn't fall asleep, I probably would have tried to jump off the fucking plane. Like. So I couldn't imagine what it's like to have an 8-hour sleep on a plane and wake up and go, wow, 14 more to go. Like, that wouldn't be too fun for me. Like, you know what I mean?
You were never slower.
I was for a little while, and then I studied aviation technology in DIT. Now I didn't finish it. Just for anyone that wants to get into the comment section and be snarky, but I didn't finish it. But like, when I was learning about them, it kind of eased my worries about planes. It's incredibly safe, and the one thing that people don't know about the aviation industry is everything that's out now is about 30 years behind where the science actually is. It's rigorously tested. There's so much that goes on in terms of safety that they have to stay behind. And it was explained to me in the way of by one of our lecturers that if you're driving down the M50 and your car breaks down, pull over to the hard shoulder, you're 33,000 feet in the air, you're cruising, and your plane breaks down. There's no fucking hard shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a hard crash into the ground. That's the thing, and that's the only reason why they don't flood the market with new technologies, because they don't know what's going to fail, what's going to work. But from going to a few I went to like a conference at you as like a part of the college course, and there's a lot of exciting things. Definitely a lot of things to be looking forward to in that area coming soon.
I seen something on TikTok that pilots actually prepare for an engine failing. So so when they're doing their pre-flight checks, one thing they account for is where can they land, can they make it back to the airport on one engine, and
jettison fuel and things like that, yeah.
What I found out a few years ago, what I thought was mad, is if both engines fail, the plane can glide for miles.
Yeah,
that thing can,
it's all about the angle of attack then when you're coming in.
Yeah,
because it's not very often it happens, but you can land a plane on water. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really is. It's down to the skill level of the pilot and the damage that's done to the plane. Like, so, but it is incredible to know that even with 2 engines gone, they can still keep going. Like, so they're incredibly safe. And anyone that is a nervous flyer, you really have no need to be a nervous flyer. Like, you're probably more likely to fucking get a smack of a taxi waiting to go into the airport. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel safer being in a plane than I would be in someone's car.
Yeah, because you don't know. Like, it's never mind the person that's driving the car you're in. It's the people that are on the road with you. Yeah, you wouldn't know who the fuck's there. Like.
But I think what made me not scared of flying was I came back from Torremolinos, or I don't know where it was, and we came through a thunderstorm. Yeah. And that scared the shit out of me. But after that, it was grand.
I'd say so. Do you want to know what happens there?
Go on.
So there's certain points in the plane. So when lightning strikes, they're built specifically for... The planes get struck by lightning constantly. You know, that's why some people don't know that. What it is basically the planes are designed in a way so the lightning will strike that, and then it'll go to specific points and it'll be dissipated out into the air, so the plane doesn't actually get any charge from it. Do you know what I mean? It hits the plane and it dissipates. Do you know what I mean? It's spread out and then sent out into the air, so it doesn't actually accrue any damage to the plane. The planes are struck by lightning constantly. Like, it's one of the amazing things that, like, you wouldn't even realise when you're on a plane, because most people are passed out the entire fucking time. You're taking dog tranquilizers or what you're doing.
Well, if someone fell asleep on the flight I was on, fair fucks them, because the plane dropped like a couple of thousand feet in seconds. The plane was jumping around. Yeah. Thunder, lightning. Oh, jeez.
I've been on a plane like that before.
Ever since then, I've been grand.
Really?
Yeah.
See, it was only I was fine on planes before, and it was only like a similar enough situation, and not with lightning, but with wind, like high speed winds, crosswinds, and things like that, and like the plane going all over. But that's what kind of soured me on flying a little bit. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that takeoffs and landings. I'm always gonna have a little bit in nerves, but that's just because in my eyes, I'm handing over the keys to my life to someone else. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not something that I do very lightly. You know what I mean? As much as I do love getting on planes, I will always have that little part of me that goes, you know what? Fucking hold on to your seat.
You're a tall enough bloke. Can you fit on planes?
Yeah, with a little bit of difficulty and not very comfortable, but yeah, I fit on planes.
I don't.
Do you not? You're not one of them 2-seaters, are you?
Hey.
Are you a 2-seater?
Oh, I'm not fat, you cunt.
I was going to say you should spread the legs, go wide like Dave, but otherwise you're going to have your knees up the edge.
I feel insulted.
Yeah? You shouldn't. You look lovely.
Ah, thanks.
Where'd your man get you? Moore Street?
Fucking, next time I'm flying, I'll try to get the middle seat or the front seat.
Would
But
you rather the middle seat? See, I think you'd be better off either trying to get the front row of the plane anywhere there, or go for row 13, because you have that bit of extra leg room.
Yeah. I've only sat in the front of the plane once, and when you're taking off, it's just a stewardess sitting in front of you, staring at you while you take off, and it's a bit awkward. So I think I'd rather sit in the middle aisle. Actually, no, I'd rather sit in the front because I'm forced on, forced off.
Do you know one thing though to always take note of when you're on a plane?
Exit.
Yeah, well, obviously when you're on a plane, if your plane ever does unfortunately crash, if anyone's ever on a plane that does unfortunately crash, do you know where you have the best percentage chance of surviving?
Back of the plane.
Back of the plane, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting down the back of the plane, be very thankful. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them things. Like, it's not like it's gonna crash, but like you'd rather have the best chance regardless. Like, the back of the plane is usually the safest.
Do you know the brace position?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that works.
I wouldn't imagine so.
And the seatbelt as well that goes across your waist. Fuck off.
You'd be chopped in half. Eh?
Literally.
You'd be torn into sausages.
That thing's not gonna save my life.
No.
I'm putting your seat 2 inches up from recline to the upright position.
Yeah.
That's not gonna save your life.
Yeah. See, I'm on Ryanair. We don't have to recline. Or we don't get the opportunity to move our seats back into the upright position.
Do you ever fly with Air Aaron?
No, we never did actually fly with Air Aaron.
I flew with them back from Manchester. When I went to America, we had to stop off in Manchester. Flew back with them on the way back, and it was one of those planes with the wings on top of the plane,
Oh, right.
and there was propellers. Boy, Jesus, it was the smallest plane I've ever been on.
What was that like?
Torture.
Yeah.
Oh, me. This seat was like literally had about that much leg room. My legs were squashed.
No, I understand. I remember when I was in the IT doing the aviation course, we were brought to a place up beside Alsa, just across the road from the airport, and like the IT had their own little ATC up there, and it was absolutely brilliant. Like, they had like things in it. There was like Robinson Air helicopters. There was like a Learjet. There was parts of old Aer Lingus planes, Rolls Royce like plane engines, fucking amazing stuff. But we got into the Learjet, and it was a former. It used to be the private jet that was used for for diplomatic journeys in Ireland, and I couldn't fit in the cockpit. As in, like, I couldn't actually sit down and put my feet in it. And I remember being told at one stage, because they had a fighter jet in there, like at the time. So I hopped in there. I was able to get in, and they went. The lecturer said, it was like, well, what height are you? I was like, 6'2", nearly 6'3", and he goes, oh yeah. So you should never get in one of these, because if you have to eject, your legs are getting broken. And I was like, okay, I would not be getting in a plane. I wasn't planning on going to be a fighter. I didn't want a fighter jet, to be honest, but sure, look.
You know what amazes me? Do you ever see the big planes that have like 3 rows across, and they're like
like the A380s, things like that.
Monster.
Yeah.
It baffles me how they go through turbulence. Like, how the fuck do you shake that thing? I know it's all air pressure and all, but how the fuck does that thing shake?
You'd wonder, like,
all that weight in that plane, and yet it's still shaking from wind.
Well, like, that's the thing.
Well, air pressure.
It shows you how strong the air pressure and the wind can be up there. Like.
That baffles me. Because I went to America, we were on that big fucking Virgin plane, and we went through turbulence on the way back, and I was actually really surprised on how bad it was, considering how big the plane was.
Really?
And you know what I found out as well? The wings are supposed to move.
Yeah, the wings do move, yeah.
That baffled me. What the fuck?
So the wings have to move. If the wings don't move, if they were static, they'd snap.
Mate, all
It's
this
the same
stuff.
way, like, certain buildings would be they'd be built in a certain way to allow them
that's mad.
to move, like sway in the wind,
Yeah.
so that they wouldn't start to bend or anything like that. It's all just genius feats of engineering. There's people that put like so many hours over so many years into this, and it's been like painstakingly thought through. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'd never be afraid again getting on a plane. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, but like the fact that the wings move, and it's only when you notice that, and the things that are like fucking, it's like a bird when you're outside, and you're like, oh Jesus, what's happening? The first time you notice that, you freak the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just a natural thing. That's what the planes are supposed to do. Like, otherwise they take too much strain and they'd end up they'd put the wing under too much stress, basically.
Like, if you're just a normal person that doesn't think too much into, like, oh, you're just flying from place to the other, but you actually sit down and think of the science and the maths that goes in behind all this. Oh,
pure
my
feat
sweet
of engineering,
Jesus.
all the work that's gone into that. Like, planes are serviced constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's always work being done. There's always repairs. If you look on the outside of the plane, you can see like the little rivets in it. That just shows that repair work has gotten done. There was actually a thing years ago where aircraft technicians used to be delighted when people were able to smoke on planes, because when they were smoking on planes, you could see the lines from the tar. It was shown where there was little air holes getting into the plane. So they were able to fill them up perfectly. Where now they have machines that show them that, but it was just a handy little trick when people were smoking on planes, that
Yeah.
if you could see a line where there was tar or anything like that along the side, it was showing that air was getting in.
Deadly.
More party air was getting out.
Mad.
It's mental, isn't it? There's so many things. Like, that's why one of the reasons that I really wanted to get onto a podcast and really wanted to start a podcast myself was there's so many interesting things out there that I haven't got a fucking clue about, and I know that everyone out there is a genius or is like very interested in something and will be able to teach me about that. Like, I can't teach myself absolutely everything, and peer learning is probably the best way to go about it. So like that's for me why I wanted to do a podcast, just to learn as much as possible from as many people as possible.
So who'd love to get on?
Who?
Jim Gavin.
Jim Gavin will be.
One, because he's obviously ex-Dublin manager, but two, he studied aviation and he's high up in the, I don't know what the name is for it, but he works in the,
Is it Dublin Aerospace?
I think so. He's in the control tower thing.
Oh, the air traffic control tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he's high up in that. He's working there years and all, and
Be a great character to get on, man. It'd be have a great story as well, especially with Dublin.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's that type of person.
Jim, maybe one day.
But if you have any suggestions on any guest we should get on, hit us up. As I said at the start, a link is in the description of the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description of that.
And if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
It's free.
It is.
It takes 2 seconds.
That's it. And the more following we get, the more we're going to have an interactive kind of side to this. We're going to get set up super chats. You'll be able to send us in things to do, give us topics to discuss, and even give us, who knows, maybe you can even come on one day, give us your 2 cents too. Like, wouldn't be opposed to it. The main process of this, the main thing for me about this podcast is about having conversations with ordinary people that sometimes do extraordinary things. And if you feel like that you've done anything extraordinary and you want to discuss it, you're more than welcome to join us here.
I think on that amazing note, I think we should end the 4th episode there.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Do you agree, my friend?
Yeah, I was getting a bit bored anyway.
Yeah, talk about fucking planes. Fuck off, would you?
Talking about planes there, the boys haven't got a praise what we're talking about. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens at the After Sesh. Just talk some bollocks, don't you, about everything.
Kitchen talk.
Went from talking about fucking football, the holidays, to being planes.
Jeez, that time already.
But yeah, we're going to end the 4th episode there. And I think the next 3 episodes, as far as I'm aware, we have guests on booked so far.
Yeah, so we'll be trying to get as many guests on as possible. So
it's going to be a mixture of both. It's going to be us, just us two talking sometimes. It's going to be guests. It's going to be a mixture of both.
And as we said, if there's anyone you'd like to see us talk to, if there's anything you'd like to hear us talk about, or if you'd like to talk to us yourself, you know where to go and you know where to contact us. Click on them links. And as we said already, like, share, subscribe. Anytime we do have guests on, we'll also put the links in to all of their socials and anything they want to be followed on. Till next time, Slán that.
Take it easy.